Welcome back, heroes. In today's video, we're diving into part 2 of what if Deku becomes stronger every time he sleeps? Get ready for more insane power-ups and intense action as Deku's journey takes a wild turn. And of course, Deku's harem continues to grow. Let's jump right into it. It's been a few days since little Eri and Kuin were now living with the Midoriyas and were more than comfortable in their new home. Inko and Kuin were already like mother and daughter, both helping each other in everything. Then over time Kuin had started developing feelings for Izuku, though Toga hadn't noticed yet. Toga, so? You've got a little crush on Izuku, huh? Kuin, what? No way. You're imagining things, Toga-chan. Blushing and flustered. Toga, hee, relax. I'm just teasing. But hey, I wouldn't mind you two getting along more. This surprised the girl. She was willing to share Izuku. She would be lying to herself if she said it was a bad idea. Kuin, BB, but he will accept. Toga, ha. You haven't noticed, but Izuku sneaks glances at you when you're not looking. Kuin, stop teasing me, Toga-chan. You're embarrassing me. At that moment the door opens to see an Izuku covered in a very viscous pink substance, leaving the girl surprised. Kuin, Izuku, what happened to you? Worried about the freckled one. Izuku, well, I was sleeping peacefully on a rooftop and woke up to find myself in a monster's stomach. He said lazily. Toga, tch. Ha, that's what you get for being lazy. He said mockingly. Kuin, I don't know what to say about that. I don't understand how he manages to get into situations like that. Izuku, and mom? Looking everywhere. Kuin, oh, she went to take Eri-chan to the garden. With a smile. Izuku, I see, well I'm glad, at least he'll make friends there. What time is the entrance exam? Toga, in a few hours, by the way, Kuin will also take the test. Izuku, really? Surprised. Kuin, well, I have nothing to lose by trying. He said timidly. Toga, that's how you talk, woman. With a smile. Izuku, okay girls, I'm going to take a bath, I won't be long. While he left. Later Izuku and the girls were about to leave until Katsuki appeared. Katsuki, wow, you're soaked, tch. It's going to rain today. He said mockingly, making those present laugh. Izuku, die, asshole. I'm pretty hygienic. He frowns. Katsuki, yes, and I'm very kind. Sarcastically. Izuku, tch whatever, let's go. By the way, Takamura says he found something big. What do you say we take a look later? Katsuki, yes, why not? That bastard will have found this time. Izuku, knowing him, he could have found a nuclear bomb in a garage. With laziness. Kuin, who is Takamura? With curiosity. Izuku, he's the coolest guy in all of Japan. When you see him, you'll know he's actually from Senegal. This left Kuin really confused. Kuin, but why is it called Takamura? Katsuku, or that's because we don't remember his full name. While yawning. Toga, it's true that its name sounds like an insult in ancient Sumerian. While sighing. Izuku, but you have to admit he's a damn genius. Later the four arrived at the test site and were surprised. Izuku, wow, if I had time I would probably loot the whole place. The three of them looked at him with raised eyebrows thinking they had heard wrong. Toga, sometimes I don't know which side you're on. While sighing. Izuku, on the side of the heroes by obligation of a certain cheerful muscle man. He said with annoyance. Izuku was going to take a couple of steps forward but stumbled, but before he hit the ground he found himself floating. Izuku, huh? Since when do I fly? While looking at a certain girl who touched him. I'm sorry for touching you with my quirk, hee. I'm sorry for that, I touched you with my quirk, hee. With a smile that looked like a sun, it was so bright. Izuku, bah. Don't worry, if I fell to the ground I would have fallen asleep anyway. All. Uraka, boo, well, I'll see you inside. As she walked towards the living room. Katsuki, what a strange quirk he has. Toga, if it's like a gravitational field or something. Kuin, if it should be activated and deactivated by touching things, didn't you see his fingers had some strange pads? Without further ado, the four candidates entered the place and there were many candidates like them for the test. Izuku, wow. There are people here. Shit, if that were the case the police or the night watchman would have known. While yawning. Toga, oh my god, you're a hopeless lazy bum. He let out a long sigh. Kuin, is it always like this? I asked while looking at the freckled man. Bakugo, and you haven't even seen him in a bad mood. While looking around. Then the four of them sat together to watch the explanation of the test. Kuin, hey Izuku, what do you think will be the... The brunette turned to look at Izuku to discover that he was sleeping like a baby. Kuin, huh? Did he fall asleep so quickly? Toga, 3 seconds a new record. Katsuki, yes, last year it was 5 seconds. While I was reading this I looked at my registration card and it said Sector A. Without further ado, a professional hero named Mike came in and explained the entire exam. Meanwhile, he finished explaining and continued sleeping until Katsuki woke him up. Katsuki, hey lazy. Hey you fool, wake up. Izuku, okay, Jesus. What's up, bro? Waking up. Toga, what do you think the exam is starting? Damn lazy. Kuin, Izuku-kun, come, I'll take you to where we need to go. Toga-chan, Katsuki-kun. We'll see you all after the exam. They both nodded and left. Moments later, all the students from the sector where they were assigned were present. Kuin, you remember what I said, right? Izuku, yes, fight robots to earn points and escape from the big robot? Kuin nodded with a smile. Izuku then noticed the girl at the entrance and was going to greet her, but a hand on his shoulder stopped him. What do you think you're doing? Izuku, well, 4 eyes, that's what I should ask. The best thing would be for you to let me go, or I'll shove your glasses and your pride up your ass. The poor boy's blood froze upon hearing those words. He simply let go of him and walked away, while Kuin blushed at Izuku's rudeness. She knew that he was usually very calm, but she had never seen that bad and wild side. The poor boy's blood froze upon hearing those words, and without further ado, he let go of him and walked away, while Kuin blushed at Izuku's rudeness. She knew that he was usually very calm, but she had never seen that bad and wild side. Without further ado, the city gates opened and all the students rushed out desperately to earn points except Izuku and Kuin. Izuku, fine, go ahead and do your thing. With a blushing smile, women. Kuin, gee, good luck. As he ran away. Izuku, okay, time for now, I'll take a nap somewhere. While walking calmly through the city. Izuku, wow, all this is artificial, they are really rich in this damn academy. Meanwhile, Izuku could see in the distance a large group of robots approaching until they completely surrounded him. Izuku, wow. They do look powerful. He said, then started whistling a tune. One of the robots launched an attack, but at a speed impossible for a normal human. He punched the machine, smashing it to pieces. Izuku, well, with you guys I can get the minimum scores to pass, it's not like I want to finish first, as long as I pass I don't care. Meanwhile, in a dark command room, a group of people were seen. Wow! How much talent we have this year, do some people have any interest in it? The explosion boy, despite his aggressiveness in battle, seems like an interesting candidate. I think the blonde girl with pigtails and the brunette with that electricity quirk are very interesting. The ice boy seems to promise a lot to me. Which one interests you, All Might? The symbol of peace just smiled and pointed at one of the monitors. All Might, look and learn. With a smile full of pride. Everyone looked at the monitor that All Might pointed at and was shocked. A green-haired boy dressed in a flowery shirt, shorts, and slippers? He was brutally beating up the robots. Then only one remained and he cracked his knuckles. Izuku, well. Your little friend is missing. While putting his hands in his pockets. The robot launched a brutal blow at high speed but only hit the air. The robot was looking for its target but it had disappeared. Izuku, hey, I'm here, look. The robot looked and on his arm was the green-haired man waving at him. In the room they were in total shock at the green-haired man's incredible talent. Whoa! It's a genius. With hearts in his eyes. Who is that boy? He's a prodigy. Amazed. Meanwhile, with the green-haired man who was still standing on the robot's arm. Izuku, well, how about we try something new? Izuku took out a coin in his right hand and tossed it in the air several times. Meanwhile in the control room. What are you doing now? Very confused. I don't know, but she looks so cool. Totally blushing like a schoolgirl. All Might, what are you up to, kid? With curiosity. Back with Izuku. Izuku, this time I'll try to screw you over with this coin. I'm curious to see how long you can resist. With a smile worthy of a criminal. Izuku extended his hand with the coin, holding it as if tossing a marble. Izuku, ready? Here I go. Without further ado, he threw the coin and it shot out like a bullet and went through the robot's head as if it were paper. The head exploded into 1,000 pieces and only short-circuiting wires remained. Izuku, wow, interesting. That's all your stamina that hurts. As he jumped to the ground. In the control room they were terrified by what they just saw. This was beyond what was expected. Just destroyed a nearly indestructible robot without a quirk. With a coin. With a damn coin. Totally stunned. All Might, ha 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 ha, that kid really knows how to show off. Proud of his pupil and successor. That kid is by far the most powerful one so far. Impressed. Kya. That guy is amazing. He's so cool. She said with sparkles in her eyes. Her companion sighed at the woman's behavior. It'll be interesting to see how far he can go. Without further ado, I'll press a button. Meanwhile, in the artificial city, an Izuku could be seen walking with his hands in his pockets, whistling a tune as if he were taking a walk in the park. Izuku, well, when will the famous final boss appear? While putting his hands over his eyes like binoculars. Then a strong tremor was felt that shook the whole place. This made the green-haired man smile. Izuku, there's my prey. He said, then ran off at full speed. Izuku arrived at the place and there were a lot of aspirants fleeing from the robot. Izuku just walked until he saw the colossal machine. Izuku was just walking until he saw the colossal machine. Izuku, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. 0 points. He said as he bowed elegantly towards the metallic giant. The contestants were shocked by the boy's carefree attitude. It was as if this was just a game to him. While the aspiring women were blushing at the boy's guts. Kuin, what the hell is this crazy guy doing? She said worriedly. Help me, I'm stuck. Izuku saw where the scream was coming from and saw the same girl from the entrance was about to be crushed by the huge machine. This somehow made him worry. Izuku, well. TCH, I should use my secret weapon. Gosh, I only used it against Yakuzas. Izuku concentrated and the wind around him, then lightning began to envelop him. Then his hair went from green to bright white, leaving everyone in shock at the boy's sudden change. Izuku, well. Nice to meet you. 0 points. Without further ado, at a speed impossible to record, the boy jumped towards the robot, which prepared an attack. The explosion of the robot was so strong that it shook the entire place, destroying some buildings in the process. Izuku, end of the junk game. He said with a smile. Everyone present had their jaws on the floor due to the incredible power that Izuku demonstrated. They had never seen anything like it in their lives. Boy 1, that guy is a monster. He said, terrified. Boy 2, they live that power, I don't even know if I could be at that level. Girl 1, whoa. He's strong and very handsome too. She said blushing. Kuin was shocked to see that power was almost similar to his quirk but with more destructive capacity. Izuku, fa. That was intense. While moving his hand to move some smoke away. Izuku then walked towards the girl who was trapped by the huge rock and with one movement he threw the rock as if it were nothing. Uraka, thank you. Surprised by the boy's strength. Raising an eyebrow at not knowing his name. Izuku, bah. Don't worry, was this nothing? Uraka Ochako, nice to meet you. With a sweet smile. Izuku Midoriya. The pleasure is mine. While lazily making a military gesture. Then he put his hand in his pocket and turned around to leave, but the girl stopped him. Uraka, wait your H, how did you do that? Izuku turned around and blinked a couple of times. Izuku, well, I'll tell you when we see each other in class. He said with a mysterious smile. The girl was surprised by the boy's confidence, but she still smiled. Izuku then walked to where Kuin was completely blank and he smiled. Izuku, hello. Calling to Earth. Kuin, are you there? He said, snapping his fingers in front of the brunette's face, causing her to come out of her trance. Kuin, huh? Oh hey Izuku. You know. I won't ask how you did that, but that was incredible to say the least. She said, still surprised. Izuku, come on, it's not that bad, it was just a simple trick. He lazily scratched the back of his neck. Then a building near the robot collapsed, causing a curtain of smoke to rise as it smiled embarrassingly. Kuin, isn't it that bad? While raising an eyebrow. Izuku, well. Maybe I went a little too far. While blushing in embarrassment. Then the professional hero mic announced the end of the exam and then an old woman appears. Izuku, Grandma? Grandma. He runs up to the little old lady and hugs her, picking her up and turning her around like she was a stuffed animal. Recovery girl, Izuku-chan, look how much you've grown. She said, happy to see the boy. Kuin and those present were surprised by the interaction with the professional heroine. Kuin, do you two know each other? I asked curiously. Izuku, yes, we've met, this young lady here saved my ass more than once, and the human grenade. With a nostalgic smile. Recovery girl, ha 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 yeah how can I forget when you arrived all hurt with Katsuki-chan fainted. Kuin, wow, but who did they fight against? Curious. Izuku, the question would be what we fought against and let me tell you that thing we fought was a fucking monster from fucking hell. He said sighing. Izuku was going to continue talking but a girl interrupted him. You're Araka, this. I wanted to thank you for saving me. She said with a blush. Izuku looked at her in surprise but then smiled and ruffled her hair with his hand. Izuku, don't worry, I would do it 1,000 times if that were the case. While giving him a trademark smile. The girl was stunned by the boy's smile which made her blush even more. This made the queen bee boil with rage inside from the jealousy she felt, then she hugged Izuku's arm, pulling herself closer with a smirk. Kuin, Izukun, we better not keep the two of them waiting. Come on. He said, glaring at your Araka. Izuku, true, it would be best to leave. Besides, we have to go see Takamura. Then Izuku looked at Recovery Girl and hugged her. Izuku, okay, Grandma, we'll see each other later. Take care. He said lazily before walking away. The aspirants around him were still impressed by the speed and power of the boy, he was a monster in every sense of the word. Meanwhile in the control room everyone was silent, no one said a word, they were assimilating what they had just witnessed. All Might, I told you the boy is a prodigy. While taking a sip of his tea. Gosh. I must say that brat has potential. Foo. I expected nothing less from my future husband, she said with a teasing smile. Gosh, Midnight, you're older than the boy. He said, raising an eyebrow. Midnight, TCH, there's no age for love. While crossing his arm. Moments later we see 4 boys walking through the streets of Tokyo calmly. Katsuki, Fa. I must say the test wasn't as difficult as I expected. Kuin, true, it was pretty simple if you ask me. While eating chips. Izuku, Bah. You're wrong, didn't you notice? While playing with a coin, tossing it in the air. Toga, what do you mean love? Curious. Izuku, well to start with the common robots points right? Everyone nodded. Izuku, then there were those special ones which gave double the normal ones. And finally the 0 points. Kuin, what are you up to with this Izukun? Now very confused. Izuku, what I'm getting at is that the exam didn't just judge our abilities, but rather our decision-making. This left everyone surprised. Katsuki, decision-making? Izuku just sighed and looked at his friend. Izuku, I'll give you an example. If a person's life was in danger but that person was someone you hated, you would save them. Katsuki reflected on his friend's question. If it were up to him, he would let that person figure it out on his own, but that's not what a hero does. Katsuki, well. Would I save her for that? Am I a hero or not? While raising an eyebrow. Izuku, see there is the answer. The surprise factor of the test was that. Tell me, what do you think the 0 points were for? Toga, wasn't that an obstacle? She said confused. Katsuki, TCH damn lazy genius, now I completely understand. With a smile. Kuin, hey, damn it, I don't understand anything here. She said angrily. Katsuki, you see this damn lazy ass just discovered a wild card in the test. He said pointing at it. Izuku, it was only a matter of time to find out what it was about. Tell me Kuin, why do you think I threw myself at the giant robot? Kuin, to save the girl. Oh damn, you're a damn Izuku. He said with a smile. So Toga, now I connect the dots. Toga, now I understand the robot, although it wasn't worth destroying it, the decision you made to save her was worth it. With a smile. Izuku, correct, the exam itself was to earn a considerable amount of points by destroying the small ones, but there was still something else, a surprise factor, and that was saving whoever was in danger. That should count as points, after all, it is an academy for heroes. He said while yawning. The 3 of them were surprised by the intelligence he possessed, he was a damn genius. Katsuki, TCH. Damn sly fox. While punching him in the arm. Toga, Boo, but how did you know about robots and all that? Weren't you asleep during the explanation? Katsuki, you're not wrong. This bastard can still hear when he sleeps, I don't know how he does it. He said, looking at his lazy friend. Kuin, wow, he's a damn genius. She said, surprised by Izuku's ability. Minutes later the four arrived at what looked like a ramen stand. Izuku, well, we arrived safely. Since we are here, let's order ramen, I'll pay. Then the four of them sat on the benches and Izuku rang a bell on the bar. At that moment, a very tall, dark-skinned man with light blue eyes and no eyebrows and white hair dressed as a Japanese chef came out. Takamura, what's up, dude? And I thought you weren't coming. He said with a smile. Izuku, what's up, son of a bitch, how are you handling everything, huh? While he greeted the man with a fist bump. Katsuki, what's up, damn, you forgot about me. He said with a smile. Takamura, how could I forget my favorite blonde? Tell me, haven't you killed anyone today? He said, mocking Katsuki. Katsuki, fuck off. With a smile. Toga, what's up, dude? We haven't seen you working here in a while. You're usually at the junkyard. Takamura, if today I decided to leave Maki in the stall since Izuku sold me all that junk from the beach, I didn't have a break. The four of them now looked at Izuku, who was sweating bullets while signaling Takamura to shut up. Toga, tch, I knew you got away with it, you lazy piece of shit. While glaring at him. Izuku, tch, and I was waiting for him to work like a worker and to give me a hair. Sometimes you have to take steps forward, right, Katsuki? He said with a smile. Katsuki, you know, damn. Hey, how much did you earn selling that shit? Izuku, Takamura, tell them how much did you pay me? He said with a smile. Takamura, 800,000 yen in cash. He said as he placed some bowls of pork ramen in front of them. All three of them widened their eyes comically. Toga, damn. Surprised. Kuin, that's impressive. I can't believe it. Katsuki, damn clever guy, why didn't you tell me, aren't we partners? Izuku, didn't you get the message I sent you? Besides, I was planning on splitting it half and half with you. While smiling. Katsuki, ha ha ha, that's why you're my partner, damn it, you're like Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction. With a smile. Toga and Kuin were sweating at Katsuki's enthusiasm. Izuku, ah, hey, I forgot to introduce you to the new member of my raid. She's Kuin. He said, pointing at her. Takamura, two girls hanging around you? Damn, you're popular, boss. Izuku and Kuin blushed while Toga looked at Kuin with a smile, but then Kuin realized what the man called him. Kuin, wait, boss? Totally surprised. Takamura, well, this is his territory. I also work for him as a supplier of rare materials and objects, and he sells me some things. This surprised the brunette, she never thought that Izuku had so much influence in that part of Tokyo. Takamura, ah, that reminds me, wait a few minutes, I have something fucking crazy to give you. This one went behind the store taking a while the four ate ramen. Kuin, hey Izuku, your friend is. Interesting, how did you meet? Izuku, in a fight with some Chinese, these were some very messed up gangsters and they had Takamura kidnapped to kill him because they had betrayed him in the middle of a very big incident. While he was eating his ramen. Kuin, what's up? What was it about? She said while trying her noodles and was delighted with the flavor. Izuku, Takamura was working for the Nigerians and they had a huge load of ivory to sell to the Chinese here in Tokyo, but it was all a mess, a trap. The Chinese killed his partners and kidnapped him to interrogate him and take all the shit, but who do you think was there to save the day? While smiling lazily. Kuin, you finished off the Chinese, but what were the Chinese and Nigerians doing here in Japan? Katsuki, they needed a low profile and Japan is good at that. Who would have thought that the Chinese and Nigerians would close a business of that size here in Tokyo? The authorities always choose to look for places like Hong Kong or even the damned Afghan desert, but never a prosperous place like Japan. Toga, tch, you're right about that, even with heroes, and this whole place is a damn rat trap. While eating. Then Takamura appears with a kind of calculator in his hand. Takamura, this is what I wanted to show you. He handed the calculator to Izuku. Izuku looked at the calculator. It wasn't anything relevant, it was a scientific one of those that you found in the damn stationery stores at a reasonable price or on sale. Izuku, what do you want with this calculator, Takamura? While raising an eyebrow. Takamura, believe me Brad, it's not what it seems. This damn thing opened some kind of strange portal when I pressed some random numbers, but then I freaked out and turned it off. Izuku looked at him surprised. Without further ado, Izuku then began to try it. Toga, ha ha ha, tell me you're not going to try it? Izuku, well. You never know something until you try it. Without further ado, Izuku entered the current date and subtracted it by 850, then pressed it for a moment. Nothing happened, he just sighed, but then a strange light surrounded Izuku's body, then the light intensified, blinding those present. When the light went out, Izuku and the calculator were gone. Toga, hey, what the hell happened? She said worriedly. Katsuki, where the hell did Izuku go? Shocked. Takamura, damn, I never thought that thing could open dimensions. He said, unable to believe it. Kuin, dimensions? This is fucked up. Where is Izuku now? She said, terrified. Meanwhile, in an unknown place, Izuku was standing with the calculator. Izuku, huh? Where the hell am I? It seems like Europe or something. He said, surprised. Izuku looked around and was in some kind of medieval-style city with European-style houses, but he noticed that the city itself seemed to be under attack, but a cry for help but a massive shadow made him turn around. When he saw what it was, he raised an eyebrow. Izuku looked around and found himself in some sort of medieval-style city with European-style houses, but he noticed that the city itself seemed to be under attack. A cry for help met with a massive shadow, causing him to turn around. Izuku, is that a fucking person in your mouth? He said in surprise. Please. Help me. He said through tears of desperation. Izuku was now considerably surprised. This thing was out of what he would consider common. He had seen many things in his still-called life, but what he had in front of him was very strange. Izuku without further ado made an impressive jump and landed a strong jump at the height of the monster's face and gave him a strong kick in the jaw, dislocating it. When the creature released the man, he caught him and fell to the ground with grace, but then Izuku jumped to a roof to get safe. Izuku, shit. What was that thing? It looked like some kind of giant from some role-playing game, lol. He then looked at the man he had saved. He had a broken leg and a fairly deep wound on his hips, but nothing fatal. Izuku, hey old man, are you okay? He said lazily. Why, you must go, the Titans will kill us all. He said, crying. Izuku, and leaving you here with those things, don't even dream about it. Being a jerk isn't my thing. He said with a jovial smile. The man was surprised by the boy in question. He didn't seem to be afraid or worried. What also intrigued him was his attire. Izuku, hey, now that I see your clothes, are you a soldier or something? Tell me, where the hell am I and what year is it? But before the man could respond, there were many Titans approaching in front of them. Izuku, forget it, it would be better to go to hell. Izuku simply took the man and carried him on his back and began to jump from roof to roof, surprising the man completely. How do you do that without a 3D maneuver team? He said in shock. Izuku, without a Tridime team. What the hell? Totally confused. But a Titan came out from below jumping to devour him, but Izuku made an impressive maneuver evading the surprise attack. Izuku, pew by the hair. Then Izuku saw a group of Titans devouring people with the same uniform as the man on his back, but a girl more or less his age was about to be devoured by a Titan. She was the only one alive. Izuku wasn't going to let that happen. I don't want to die, I'm scared. Mom, Dad, help. The girl said through tears, resigning herself to her fate. But out of nowhere a green ray hit the Titan's head, completely erasing his head. The girl was in total shock when she saw a boy covered in green rays, but at an impressive speed he took the girl from the enormous hands of the decapitated beast and took her to the other wounded man on the roof. Izuku, wow, I think I went a little too far, he. While sighing. Who are you? Said the girl, blushing from being carried like a princess. Izuku, my name is Izuku and you are? He said curiously. Mina Carolina. Thank you for saving me, thank you very much. While hugging the boy. Izuku, bah, don't worry, it's what any superhero would do or not. While comforting. Superhero, you came to save the world from the Titans? He said, surprised and hopeful. Izuku was surprised by this. This was another different world, that is, a parallel dimension. Then he looked at the calculator in his hand and then he completely understood. The calculator was a kind of dimensional machine. Izuku, well, answering your question, I'll do whatever it takes to help, but I assure you I wasn't sent. He looked around. James Muller, my name is James Muller, nice to meet you, man. Shit, you saved me from being eaten by Titan. Thank you. Izuku, don't worry, there's no problem. Where the hell are we? He said curiously. Mina, well, this is the Tros district, or what's left of it. While putting on a sad expression. Izuku, I see. And do you have partners or something? While stretching his muscles, making Mina blush. James, TCH. My platoon was wiped out by those bastards. He said angrily and helplessly. Mina, mine too, only a few remained. She said sadly. Izuku just nodded, not wanting to push further. Then he saw from the roof a group of titans trying to capture them, so Izuku sighed and looked at the two. Izuku, well, I'm going to clean this area. If I kill those things it will be easier to move. The two looked at him in shock. Did this stranger have any idea what he was up against? Mina, you're crazy, you'll die. She said, terrified. James, true, it's suicide what you want to do, those things are huge. Izuku, don't worry, it'll only take me a few minutes, you're not that smart or strong. As if it were nothing to worry about. Mina and James looked at him, impressed by how calm he was, how much strength he had, how much confidence he had. Without further ado, they both sighed. Mina, fine, but please be careful? She said worriedly. Izuku, yeah, whatever. Hey, those things have some weakness. I saw that when I tear off one's head it regenerates. What's that about? While looking at James. James, if you have to hit them in the back of the head it will kill them instantly. Wait, aren't you going to jump in and fight all those titans or not? He said in shock. Izuku then began to emanate green rays all over his body and turned to look at them with a confident smile. Izuku, what do you think, old man? Just watch and learn how this is done. He said arrogantly. Izuku then jumped with a wonderful pirouette, falling with artistic grace to the ground in the middle of all the titans, being completely surrounded. Then he bows elegantly before the colossal monsters. Izuku, greetings damn freaks, my name is Izuku Midoriya and I. While he was there, in the blink of an eye he jumped behind a titan and with his bare hand cut the back of his neck, killing him in an instant. Then he jumped to the ground and looked at him with a look worthy of an underworld boss. Izuku, I'll be the one to wipe you all off the fucking map. Meanwhile, in Izuku's original dimension, Takamura and the others were completely worried about Izuku's sudden disappearance. Takamura, damn, I should have known from the fucking beginning. Toga, and now what are we going to do? How are we going to get Izuku back? She said worriedly. Katsuki, hey Takamura, do you know if Josuke made it to Japan? He's the only one capable of solving this shit. Takamura, he'll be arriving in Japan today. I was just going to pick him up. If you want, we can go to the airport and bring him back so you can help us sort this mess out. He sighed. Kuin, okay, let's go, there's no time to waste. We must help him get back no matter what it costs. He said with determination. Mina and James were stunned. Never in their lives had they seen such a display of power. This unknown boy was sitting on a mountain of titan bones as if the entire battle he had against the beasts hungry for human flesh was a simple child's play. Mina, what? The hell is he? Totally stunned. James, I don't know, he can't be human, a normal person could never do those things. He said, still not assimilating what he had just witnessed. Meanwhile, Izuku was sitting on the mountain of titan bones crashing his phone. Izuku, TCH. There's no signal. This is a beautiful mess. I'm teleported to a world full of naked cannibal giants and now I have no signal on my phone. This is seriously going to be great. He said, very irritated by the current situation. Izuku simply gestured to the two soldiers that the path was clear. Mina took James and went down from the roof. Mina, whoa. That was amazing. Are you a magician? She said, totally impressed. Izuku, a magician? Nah. If I were one, I'd be loaded with cash and on a damn yacht. Sarcastically. Mina, yacht? What is that? Confused. Izuku, forget it. And why do those giants with faces like second-hand actors want to eat them like snacks? Out of curiosity. James, believe me, kid, all we know so far is that we're on the brink of extinction. Izuku whistled in surprise at the information. So these people weren't just soldiers, they were survivors. Izuku, that looks bad, old man. And tell me, how old are you? Mine, in me 15. James, I'm 24. Izuku was surprised at how young they were to be involved in this shit. Something wasn't right, this can't just be for the common good. Izuku, wow, they're young with a demon, and tell me, do they have a leader, but I don't know, maybe a king? While I looked at them waiting for more answers. James, TCH, you could say that, but the bastard is safe in the castle, deep within the walls. he said venomously. Izuku, huh? Is this a fucking joke? You guys bust your asses here adding spice to those things, and this fucking king stays playing Chinese checkers while eating biscuits and drinking midday tea? That's all. When this shit is over, I'm going to go chat with that bastard. Angrily. James, calm down kid, believe me more than anything I'd like to shake that bastard up, but now we have to look for survivors or more soldiers. Mina, it's true if I remember correctly, there's a gas depot a few blocks away, maybe we'll find someone there. Izuku, okay then, let's go. I'll carry James. You go on the roofs with those weird tri-dye things, I don't know what the hell, to be our eyes. Okay? He said lazily. The girl laughed at his attitude. Despite the difficult moment, he looked inhumanly calm. Meanwhile, in Izuku's original dimension, people were seen at the airport waiting for someone in particular. Katsuki, do you see Josuke anywhere? He asked while looking for him everywhere. Toga, are you sure he said Takamura has arrived? While looking at him with a raised eyebrow. Takamura, of course, he said he arrived minutes ago. He said while looking for his colleague. Hey guys. Said a monotonous voice behind them. Takamura, yo Josuke, what's up old man, so long time no see. Josuke, get straight to the point, Takamura-san, what the hell did Izuku get himself into now? Cutting it all off at the root. Katsuku, the idiot used a calculator that turns out to open portals. He said with a sigh. Josuke, tch when not that hairless ape getting into every situation. While sighing at his best friend's stupidity. Toga, can you bring that idiot back? Josuke, I'm asking, not if I can, but how? Do you know where he disappeared? If you take me there, I'll be able to see what it's about. I have my equipment and everything at hand. While adjusting his glasses. Meanwhile, our protagonist Izuku was walking through the destroyed streets of the Tros district with a James on his back. Izuku, gosh, how much shit they must have been through, huh? While looking at the depressing landscape. James, this already happened before with the Maria Wall, it was horrible. We lost everything there. Family, friends, children. Everything. He said sadly. Izuku, well this time it won't happen. He said as he started whistling a song. James, hey, why are you so sure? Those things are bigger than us, stronger than us. Scared. Izuku, of course, because I'm here. He said, turning to look at him with a burning look of determination. Those eyes left him surprised, he had never seen so much will in his life and those words hit him like a hammer. Did he have so much faith in himself and in humanity? Jamie, fine, but how do you intend to help us win against the Titans? Izuku, well, what do I know? While he started whistling as if nothing was wrong. James just rolled his eyes at his attitude. The guy was extraordinary. One moment he was very determined, and then he turned out to be a slacker. Mina, guys, I see my friends, come here. She said, getting the two of their attention. Without further ado, Izuku jumped towards the roof to see what it was and saw a group of people landing on the roof. Mina, I'm glad you're alive. Said a blonde-haired boy, relieved. Mina, guys. While crying with happiness at seeing them. The soldiers now turned to look at Izuku and were impressed by the strange clothes he was wearing. Hey Mina, who is this? Asked a tall, brown-haired girl. Mina, oh, he's Izuku. He saved James and me from being eaten by the Titans. He helped us get here. Hey, what about Eren? She said worriedly. Black-haired girl and Armin just looked at her sadly. Mina, oh no. There's no time for emotions, we have to get to the gas depot. Hey Mikasa, are you crazy? The place is infested with Titans. We'll be easy prey there. Said a terrified brown-haired boy. Izuku, that's true, Professor Hirofallis is right, you better go, I'll take care of those phenomena. Take James with you. Hey, what did you call me, damn it? And who are you to think you're a leader? While grabbing him by the shirt. Izuku, 6 seconds. Ah? Without understanding what he was saying. Izuku, 6 seconds is what I'll give you to let me go, otherwise I'll make a pretty necklace with your fucking teeth. The look he gave the brown-haired boy left him terrified. They were very cold green eyes and he had the feeling that if he didn't let go, she would kill him without a word, so without further ado, he slowly let go while trembling and sweating cold. Jean, stop wasting time and let's get out of here. Said a blonde. But are we going to leave the boy here alone with the Titans? That's crazy. Said a blonde in shock. Izuku, come on, It's not a big deal, you know. While scratching the back of his neck. But you're crazy, they'll eat you alive. Said a scared brunette with a ponytail. Izuku simply began to walk towards the ledge with his hands in his pockets while his back was to the group. Izuku, well. Let those sons of bitches line up, because I'm not going to be some fucking giant snack. He then turns around to look at them with determination. And then turn around to look at them with determination. The other soldiers were impressed by the boy's tenacity. He didn't seem to hesitate in fighting the Titans, but the boy's eyes made their hearts beat full of confidence and will. The serious blonde of the group blushed when she saw those eyes full of will. She had never seen anything like that in her life. You're right, if they want to eat us, they'll have to come after us. We can finish those bastards off. A bald boy said confidently. Then everyone began to roar with faith and confidence and began to maneuver in the air with their gadgets, leaving only Izuku who, from the ledge, saw a large number of Titans in the distance. Izuku, okay, it's time to end this shit. Without further ado, Izuku leaps from roof to roof at incredible speed to exterminate every living Titan. This would be the first victory of humanity. Katsuki and the four arrived at Takamura's store while Josuke was checking one of his suitcases looking for something specific. Josuke, well, what is the exact place where he disappeared? While taking out a strange device. Katsuki, they're in that seat. He said pointing to said place. Josuke, very well, this will take a maximum of 2 hours. In the meantime, I will leave this device. When it makes a sound, it means that the continuous molecule tracking process will be complete. Katsuki, wow, slow down, Brainiac. I'm a little pissed off now. Toga, it means that when the machine makes a sound it means that it has finished tracking ignorant Izuku. While making an S-class palm face. Katsuki, oh. I see. While he was surprised by his stupidity. Kuin, and after the tracking, what follows? Curious. Josuke, let's contact him to find out where he's gone, that way we can help him get back. While turning on a laptop. Meanwhile, Izuku was up to his old tricks, beating up a large group of Titans. Izuku, hhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhh. Meanwhile, Izuku was committing against the Titans. They were in shock, having never seen such a display of cruelty and power in a person. That kid is beating the hell out of those Titans. This is crazy. The bald man said, terrified. And the worst part is that he doesn't have any weapons, he kills them with his bare hands. With his damn hands he's a monster. Said a tall brunette. Mina, why yes, I saw how he took care of some Titans when he was helping us clear the path. It's like he was a machine, he annihilates them with ease. She said, still surprised. James, will this be our trump card against the Titans? He said in surprise. Jean, I don't know, but that guy terrifies me. I exclaimed, sweating bullets as I remembered the green-haired boy's gaze. Meanwhile, a certain blonde with icy eyes looked on, blushing at how skilled the boy was. Mikasa, whatever, we must keep walking. Everyone continued on their way to the warehouse while Izuku finished massacring the few remaining Titans. Izuku, well what the fuck, the fun is over. He said while sighing. Then he felt a huge roar and saw a strange Titan hitting another one. This left him surprised, but something told him that this Titan was not like the others since it only focused on killing the Titans in its path. Izuku, gosh, he's really pissed off. Well, I'd better go see if I can help someone out there. Without further ado, Izuku started running looking for survivors. Meanwhile, in one part of the district, there were a lot of civilians trying to convince a merchant to move a cart with merchandise out of the way so that civilians and children could pass. Merchant, you're crazy. I won't leave the merchandise. It's worth twice what all of you do. He said while pushing the cart. But then the loud sound of footsteps brought them out of their discussion, and in the distance an abnormal Titan was approaching. The civilians were terrified, this was certain death for them. People began to panic as they pushed the carriage to get through. Child, mommy, I'm scared. Said a crying girl. Her mother hugged her tightly to prepare for it, but a kind of green ray pierced the Titan's neck, causing him to fall a few meters away dead. The girl, upon observing the Titan, noticed that above the body there was a boy standing with green rays surrounding his body. The girl was amazed by the green rays. Girl, mommy, look, that magician saved us from the giant. She said very happily. The girl's mother looked at the boy her daughter pointed at and was surprised to see a very young boy on top of the Titan's body. Izuku, Well, what's going on here, why don't you leave? He said curiously. Civilian, that bastard wants to put his horse before the women and children. He said indignantly. Izuku then glared at the merchant. Izuku always hated worthless scum. Izuku, hey, fatso. Get that card out or you'll be a good doormat for my home. You understand what I'm getting at, right? He said, grabbing him by the shirt and looking at him with a smile worthy of a demon. Merchant, if there's no problem, sir. Izuku, thanks, very thoughtful of you. Now move your ass and run that cart. He said angrily. Without further ado, the merchant ordered the driver to move the cart while civilians passed by to leave the district. Mother, thank you very much, young man, you are a ray of hope for us, while she smiled at him with great happiness. Izuku, don't worry, miss, I would do it 1,000 times. He bowed elegantly, making the woman blush. Then he turned to see the girl who was looking at him with admiration and a bright smile. Izuku, what's up, girl, you're safe now. He said while ruffling her hair, making her laugh. Girl, when I grow up, I want to be strong like you. With a smile. Izuku was surprised by this, no one ever told him something like that. Izuku, what's your name, little one? Curious. Mila, sir. Izuku, well, Mila, train hard and you might even surpass me. He said with a fatherly smile. The girl was surprised by the green-haired man's words and showed him a look full of determination. Mila, you'll see, I'll become the strongest of all, I'll be unstoppable. With a fierce smile. Izuku, just something tells me you'll be good, I have to go, I'll see you later I guess. As he disappeared in a green flash, surprising the mother and her daughter. Meanwhile, in another mention, we see Izuku's friends and girlfriend playing cards at Takamura's house while waiting for signs from Izuku. Toga, tch. How the hell does this fucking lentil win? She said frustrated. Josuke, it's all in the numbers, Toga-san. He said simply. Katsuki, tch, fuck off you bastard, you and your tricks have me fed up, let's play something else. But a noise interrupted them. Josuke, wow, he found it so fast? Surprised. Toga, come on, try to communicate with him. She said desperately. Everyone was attentive to what Josuke would do. Without further ado, Josuke connected the laptop and began typing to try to communicate with Izuku's cell phone while the machine tingled green. Josuke, hi Izuku. Are you there? Answer me? He said through his laptop's microphone. Izuku, Josuke? The others were in shock, they had found Izuku. Izuku stood on a mountain of dead titans as he looked curiously at the calculator. Izuku, well, at least with this thing I can come back whenever I want. Of course, when I'm done destroying these giants, he said, smiling triumphantly. But the sound of his phone brought him out of his thoughts. Izuku just took it out and on his cell phone there was a wallpaper of him with his girlfriend. Izuku, hello? Josuke? Meanwhile in Izuku's dimension they were relieved to hear Broccoli's voice. Josuke, damn it, Izuku, I just arrived in Japan and you've already gotten yourself into another problem. How the hell do you manage to get into strange situations? He shouted in frustration. Izuku, hey, how would I have known that a fucking Toshiba calculator would be a dimensional machine? He said angrily at being blamed. Josuke, dimensional machine? I imagine that machine was given to you by the genius Takamura. While he glared at the cook. Izuku, ding dong. You hit the nail on the head, Sherlock. Well, things are fucked up here, you know? Josuke, what do you mean? Curious. Izuku, let me show you. I'll hang up for a moment and send you a photo to your email. Without further ado, Josuke hung up the call for a moment, but then his cell phone rang. You received a message from Izuku El Sabroso. This made the others cry with laughter. That was the most ridiculous name anyone could give themselves.
Josuke, ha 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 ha, Izuku El Sabroso, really?
Ha ha ha. While crying with laughter. Katsuki, ha 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 ha, it sounds like the name of a fucking Tinder user, ha ha ha. This time the lazy guy outdid himself. While they rolled on the floor laughing. Toga, ha 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 ha, who would have thought that the terror of every Yakuza had that user? While wiping away the tears caused by laughter. Takamura and Kuin were tired of laughing so much. Then Josuke calmed down and opened the message and his smile changed to a look of horror when he saw Izuku's photo. It was a selfie of him making a peace sign while behind him was a giant with a horrible face reaching out to grab him. Toga, what the hell was that thing? She said, terrified. Kuin, He looks like some kind of giant. But look at his face, it seems. Katsuki, a second-hand movie actor. He said, terrified. But everyone turned to see the bomb boy for the stupid comment. Josuke's device received a call beep for him to answer. Izuku, did you see how your eye turned out? He said arrogantly. Josuke, Izuku, what the hell is that thing? Did you kill it? He said in surprise. Izuku, that's called a titan, and if I killed her? Nah. I'm afraid not, in fact she just swallowed me alive. He said as if nothing had happened. Josuke, what? Izuku, hey old man, don't shout, I'm going to go deaf. With irritation. Josuke, how did you end up being an appetizer for that titan? He said with concern. Izuku, it must have been because of the selfie I sent you. In fact, I didn't even know that thing was behind me. He said while looking around. Josuke and the others were worried now that the broccoli was swallowed by that terrifying being. Izuku, gosh, this place looks like the house of some old serial killer. Anyway, I'll leave you, I'll call you later, I want to get out of here, there's an ass smell that kills. He said disgusted. After he hung up, the others were terrified, they didn't know what to say, but Katsuki broke the silence. Katsuki, shall we play Mortal Kombat? He said while pointing at the video game console. They looked at him for a moment, but then they all went to play a few games of Mortal Kombat while they waited for Izuku to call again. Meanwhile, on a rooftop, the group of recruits were watching the strange titan hitting the titans left and right without being able to believe it, but someone whistling a song brought them out of their trance. Izuku, what a mess that thing is making, huh? He said as if nothing had happened. The young men looked at the green-haired man and noticed that he was covered in a sticky substance and blood. Jean, hey, man, what the hell happened to you and why do you smell like ass? While covering his nose. Izuku, is that what was in the stomach of those things? He said with disinterest. The others looked at him in shock, this was unheard of, how someone could be eaten by a titan and live to tell the tale. How did you survive? You should be dead. Said a blonde-haired man in shock. Izuku, that? Well, have you seen the movie Alien? He said while cleaning the rest. Everyone looked at him like he was a fish out of water, as if they didn't understand what Izuku was saying. He just sighed and decided to keep it simple. Izuku, I opened his damn stomach and tada. I came out on stage. Crazy, right? He said sarcastically. Mina, did you open his stomach? Surprised. Izuku, well, it was the only option, or else it would be like the corn tooth in its shit. Sighing. But titans don't defecate. Said the blonde-haired boy. Izuku. Interesting fact, young lady. He said thoughtfully. I'm a man. He said, somewhat blushing. Izuku, okay. Better tell me, is that thing your friend or something? He said, changing the subject since things were getting weird. A black-haired girl was going to answer him, but the loud cry of victory of the enormous creature took them out of their conversation. Then the peculiar titan fell to the ground, causing the ground to shake slightly, but it was smoking abundantly. Jean, what was that about helping the titan? Titans are titans. He said venomously. Izuku, hey, is someone coming out of that thing? Upon hearing that, Jean walked to the ledge with the others to see what it was about. The black-haired woman, upon seeing a little, noticed that this person was someone she had thought dead. Without further ado, the brunette ran downstairs, not caring if there were titans or not. She wanted to be sure that what she saw was not a mirage, but when she noticed that it was her most precious being, she hugged him. Then she checked his heartbeat, putting her ear close to him, and she hugged him tightly while crying with happiness. Aaron? Said the blonde-haired boy in shock. Mina, and it can't be. She said, putting her hands over her mouth in surprise. The other recruits looked at the blonde-haired boy in disbelief. Izuku, I see that person controlled the titan from within, but how is that possible? Those things aren't human. Something's wrong here. While narrowing his eyes, Izuku-sin went to where the titan boy was. Jean, hey, what the hell is that idiot doing? Izuku, what power tch in my lands, I would be a fucking hero that shits you. While walking, the black-haired girl continued crying, continuing to hug Aaron as if her life depended on it. Izuku, hey, you. I'm here to help you take that boy to safety on the rooftops. He said, but she glared at him. Izuku, hey, don't give me that look. If you want your boyfriend to survive this, let me help, okay? He said, a little annoyed by the look she was giving him. She just looked at him with some distrust. She saw what he was capable of. The strength he possessed was far from this planet, but there was nothing left but to accept his help. Okay. What's your name? He demanded. Izuku, and you are? He said, raising an eyebrow. Mikasa. Ackerman. She said in a flat tone while wiping away her tears. Izuku, I see. Okay, let me help you carry your boyfriend. As he approached them. The girl blushed when she called Eren her boyfriend, but without further ado she accepted and they both took Eren to where the others were. Eren, said a bald man surprised to see him. Jean, how can he be a Titan? He said in shock. James, it's impossible. He said in surprise. Izuku, oh come on, you just saw a fucking superhero in action and this surprises you? Besides, you should feel on cloud 9. You have a guy who is capable of breaking ass by transforming into those things. Should you feel hopeful or not? He said sighing. The others looked at him surprised by his words, but two of the group narrowed their eyes while a blonde looked at him slightly blushed. Hey, you never told us your name. Said a certain blushing blonde. Izuku Midoriya, and you guys? Curious. Annie Leonhardt. She said, tucking her bangs behind her ear. Berthold Hoover. Said a tall young man with black hair. Reiner Braun. Said a muscular blonde-haired man while narrowing his eyes at Izuku. Izuku was going to continue asking questions, but his cell phone rang. This caught the attention of everyone around him since they had never heard music like that in their lives. Jean, what the hell is that music? It sounds horrible. He said while raising his eyebrow. Izuku, hey, dude. If I hear you say AC/DC sucks, I'll beat you off with a spoon. He said with a sour face, scaring the brunette. Izuku put the phone to his earbud. Toga, Izuku. The green-haired man was terrified when he heard his girlfriend extremely angry. Izuku, oh hi baby, what's up? He said, sweating bullets. The others were shocked by the thing the green-haired man had in his hands that spoke as if it were a person. Toga, what's up? We've been waiting for your fucking call for hours, you know how worried I am. She said, very angry. They shuddered at the tone of voice that the strange artifact was uttering, but for some reason they felt a chill run down their spines. Izuku, boo, but look, I'm sorry, okay? But I was in the mood for those things you wanted me to do. Toga, whatever lazy. Hey, I hear people passing by? She said curiously. Izuku turned to look at the others and they looked at him while murmuring things about what Izuku had in his hand. Izuku, are survivors. We just went through hell around here. Hey, is the human bomb over there? Toga, yes, he's here playing Mortal Kombat. He said, sighing. Izuku, huh? Damn. Not only am I trapped in Wonderland, but they're also playing Mortal Kombat without me? He said while sighing in sadness. Toga, then find a fucking way to come back. She said angrily. Izuku, I still can't, these people are having a hard time. He said seriously. Toga, what do you mean? She said, surprised. Izuku, well it turns out those giant things I just showed you are trying to wipe out the human race. Ha 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 shit, this reminds me of those low-budget movies that Takamura watches when he gets drunk. Toga, God, Izuku, why do you always get yourself so deep in trouble? Sighing. Izuku, I don't know, I was born for danger. With a smile. Toga, or maybe you're a hopeless idiot. She said angrily. Izuku, wow, you're really angry. Anyway, I'd better hang up. I'll call you back, okay? Toga, fine, but keep this in mind. When you get back you'll be sleeping on the fucking couch. And then hang up. Izuku, haha, I think I just dug myself into a hole, that woman's going to be really mad at me. While sighing lazily. Then the green-haired man turned around and noticed that everyone was looking at him as if he were a freak. Izuku, what's wrong? He said while raising an eyebrow. Annie, what was all that about? Not understanding what the hell just happened. Izuku didn't know what to say to these people since they didn't even understand what a cell phone was. Izuku, well, to start, this is a cell phone. He said as he turned on the phone. Those present were surprised because there was the same green-haired man hugging a blonde. Jean, whoa, how are you inside that thing? He said in shock. Izuku, well my brainless friend, this is a photo, look I'll show you. Izuku then activated his cell phone camera and took a selfie while the others were behind him looking at the camera. Then Izuku extended his cell phone showing the photo he took and they were stunned. Annie, how did he do it? She said in shock. Reiner, this is incredible. He said, unable to believe it. Jean, did you create this so-called cell phone? Curious. Izuku, no, to begin with, I'm not from this place. In fact, I'm not from this dimension. He said, dropping the bombshell as if it were nothing. The others gasped at this clarification. This was beyond comprehension. Izuku, gosh, something tells me there's a lot to explain, huh? Sighing,